Ooh, you watching the Comedy Plug on Pharcyde TV. Bammy. Ooh, what it do, party people, what it do? You know what it is, baby. You rocking with the speech guy, Tony Asar, ASAR, coming from the land of sugar free. So you know it's nothing sweet, but everything's nice. And you know I got to do what I do best, baby. Let's play you them cuts, that slappers, that bass with a little bit of taste in your mouth. And plus we bring the ha-has, and we wouldn't be the Comedy Plug if I didn't bring a homie with me. But without further ado, we can go ahead and kick it off. I hope you're enjoying your day, your evening, your week, whatever time zone you're listening to. Hope you're enjoying what it do. And you know who you rocking with, baby. The speech guy, Tony Asar, ASAR. Come on now. Come on now. I know you enjoying yourself. And if you want to see who was all that I played in the order that it was played in, go and do me a favor. Click that link in the bio if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Deezer, any of those above, and it'll take you straight to the Comedy Plug playlist. Each episode is specially curated just for you, just for our guests. And you know what you're doing. You're rocking with the speech guy, Tony Asar, ASAR. But it ain't about me, man. It ain't about me. It's about the homie with me. And the dude that I brought is actually someone I ran into last year. He was throwing a show. I popped up. He was like, hey, man, you want to get some time in? The crowd was lit. I couldn't say no. And so I hopped in. It was a great night. Lit. Been following him ever since. But without further ado, I allow the man to tell you who he is. Tell the people what your name is.
What's up? It's Tony Grams.
Oh, and where you from, my G?
LA. Just regular LA, West LA, South Central, Mid City.
Oh,
like
the whole
area of like LA, pretty much like, you know.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, was there trouble getting here?
No, not at all. Like once I went around like twice and then I was like, okay, this is it. Like, there was a little traffic, but it was cool. I left on time just because I knew.
Oh, that's how you know he from LA. He knew he had to leave.
You already know. You got like an hour before. Like, okay, I got 40. I got to be 30 minutes. All right, yeah, leave about an hour and a half.
That extra 30 minutes just to find parking.
That's like another 15. It was cool.
Hey, man. But glad you came through. Hey, I can't lie. You a big dude. You had to play sports.
Honestly, I played football because everybody thinks I played basketball because I was tall, but I liked football because it was like I can jump over everybody and catch the ball. And then outrun them usually. Like even if I get hit, it was just a lot. I like that better, but I wasn't like super deep into it. So I was always more into like boxing and kind of like my stepdad was in kickboxing, and so I was in like the Muay Thai stuff and grappling. That's like why
I really.
I mean, I got like I was a crash dummy. My stepdad was into all of it heavy, but I was like his sparring partner. So I got like the basics of like a little everything because I just know how to. And I do security.
I do.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of natural. Like I wouldn't even know how to do something, but when stuff jump off, it just kind of kick in and. It ain't never been. It ain't went wrong since I've been like 16. So, as a school, so.
I like how you said you were undefeated. Hey, right, honestly, since I was 16.
Yeah, I mean, I took a few losses here and there, but as far as like in my security job, I'm 5-0. Like
they already know the champ is here.
Like, oh, that's dude. Like Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. So, like,
you over here was like training the future.
Just like training. I know.
So when they come at you like this, what you gonna want to do is apply a little pressure.
Gonna be like the dude from Detroit. What's the guy that you grab a gun and you.
He's
a tactical dude, whatever. I don't even know his name.
The one that be coming in with the triad.
Yeah, he be dressed like an armed bring security guard all the time.
Man, I need to see his resume. That brother got a slick back. That's too slick. He did anything rough.
But a lot of people have been like going like to meet him to debunk him, and he proved them kind of right or proved them wrong.
Yeah,
a lot of people was like, yo, it really like and he just like got it off. Or like I think Rory and Maul went.
Yeah.
Snoop. a couple people was like, bro, this dude, like, nah, man, you gonna get somebody hurt. And then they went and he has video where they're like trying to, and he literally, they was like, bro, he really like kind of disarmed me while I was like up on him. So
damn,
he know what he doing. He's still here. He done did it to somebody. He done got out of the jail before.
A couple. I love to go out drinking with him. I just feel safe.
You be like, I can say anything. It's like, turn up, he like, excuse me. You take a bar, what is it, a full stick from a dude?
Shove it up.
Steven Seagal, like, what's going on?
No, but man, not to get sidetracked, man, hop right back. Hey, so you from here, man, but you actually got an interesting background, man, because you didn't come straight into comedy. You an artist?
Yeah, I did.
You a musician?
I did music for about like just under maybe 20 years, like literally like writing and certain songs I wrote and other people kind of used them, or they you know, I had meetings with Def Jam, and I did a lot of stuff like that. You know, people be like, I rap, and they might have a CD, but you got to kind of put something into it to where it's like we all rap now, like, or we all. Man,
I've been on many of buses.
Man, Venice Beach in front of Target.
Man, I had one verse on the goal line. It would have went platinum if I recorded it. I'm just saying.
And I feel like it's all of our stories, but it's like we have to put that extra on it. Yeah. So my extra was I had signing stuff with Sony, and I did like a lot of cool stuff, shows, and performed at cool spots like Legendary, the Whiskey.
Okay, hold on. Before we move forward, because this is like really interesting, because you done it. You like you saying, talk that. So at what point, what was the era when you got picked up by Sony? What was what led up to that moment?
That was, I want to say 2012 to 13. And it was like a distribution deal with like, I forgot, there was like something, Warner 123, something, I forgot the number. But it was like, they were like connected, and I just felt like this was like when 360 deals, they was hitting people with 360s, but they weren't called 360s.
But real quick, before we move forward. What's the 360 for the people listening?
That was pretty much, it was like a slave deal. Where they just pretty much, they get 50% of everything. No matter, even if you make a t-shirt and sell it, they get 50% of it. Even if you like bought the t-shirt, you printed it at the swap meet and put it out. So my homies was kind of happy, like we got a deal. And I'm kind of like reading this like, you know, this ain't it. But I kind of don't want to be the hater of like, oh, I'm the reason we don't get a deal. But I felt we were doing everything still with the deal that got their attention, and it still wasn't nothing else happening that they added. So it was kind of like, why do we even we just got the name Sony attached to whatever, and it's not doing nothing really. So I could have kept doing this on my own, and it was like 100% all of us, like not just me, but us. We did everything.
And us. So were you part of a rap group?
It was a group. It was called ODL, like on the level. So it was a record label. And the homie, he was a producer. The other homie, we all rapped. It's like we all wrote, rapped, and just created everything. I did the cover art for all of the uploads to SoundCloud. Okay. I did literally, it was like everything was all of us. So it felt kind of weird with a deal where somebody's going to get 50% of something that you did 100% of everything for.
So there was nothing in it that said they was going to give you like distribution.
It was like that's what the distribution, but it kind of was like it was never really seen. Or like they got us a few good shows, and then it was kind of like in the shows, even like the venues would be like calling us to come back and perform like before our like label was trying to get us other shows, just because we were doing it. So like the club would be like, yeah, we want you back. So I just felt kind of at that point, I just kind of lost maybe about 3 more years, and I was like, I'm not going to go halfway pretty much. Like, even though I can still create something dope, I just was like, I'm going to just chill for a little bit. And I didn't even jump right into comedy. I took like, I would say maybe 2 years, like of not.
So maybe, it was like 2012, 2015.
Like I'll say I stopped like fully. Like we had the deal up to maybe like 2015, and then I kind of like stopped with the music like 2017, early 2018. Okay. And then I started with comedy like early 2019.
Okay. So, before we push to the comedy, what was your favorite show to perform during that time period? I know it was a 360 deal, but
I'd say like I'd say like the Whiskey was like because the Whiskey is like a legendary. Yeah. Like you watch any movie like about the 80s, You watch any documentary, anything, like literally the movie comes on and like it pans down to the whiskey, like that, the marquee. Yeah. So it's kind of like just to see my name and like up on there. Yeah. And even them, like their booking agents calling us back, like, hey, we want you to open up this show on Super Bowl Sunday, or we in there. It was just that to me was a mega like accomplishment.
What was the best show?
Holly, Texas. We did a show in Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay. And we went out there, it was chilling, and it was like for a bike club, like from out here, but they have chapters like all over America.
Like they do.
Yeah, so like they were having it was that year to have it in Texas. So we get out there, we're only out there for about 2 days, and it was cool. It was like I'm, smoking and all like how I do. So I asked the dude for a lighter. I seen his patch, he was from San Antonio. And he kind of like looked and was like, we were talking, and he was like, wait a minute, you the dude from YouTube. And he was like, so this one dude just randomly turned on. He was like, bro, I listen to y'all music. Like, I watch y'all video every day. Cause I was like, it was so random just off of like asking a dude for a lighter. And he asked me, oh, y'all from LA? And I'm like, yeah, we out here just to perform. And I'm like, that's the homie. He on the song. And he kind of looked and was like, hey, y'all is the dudes from YouTube. And then just kind of, I got to get a picture. Yeah. And there's actually, I still got the video on my YouTube channel where we're in Texas, and when we perform, it's about 400 people there. He's like, he's in the front of the stage, like every word for word, like, and this is somebody like, this is a song, I wrote the hook. Like, it's something you wrote in your socks, smoking stress, like, in the garage. And
hey, people don't know about the stress.
Man, you get a nice one? Man,
you used to be able to get like 5-6 blunts.
Man, we gonna stress this.
Half a zip, it was it.
It was over. So, but just from that, like, to see people, one, in another state, in Texas, two, like this dude literally is like he knew every, like this on YouTube, he in the front of the stage, like we singing, it's packed club, and he's literally word for word, every song. He was like, I got to get a picture with y'all. And that's the kind of, like the fuel to kind of keep you going when you be like, man, should I be doing this? Mm-hmm. Or, so that's what I mean when it don't mean like you got to make $1 million or something, but when you rap, that's what I'm saying when people be like, I rap, it's like, dude, when you go somewhere like that, that happened? Will you get that after you've been doing it for so long? So it's like, what if you put into it to see something, the return? And to me, that's a big return. So I felt that was one of the best. That was probably the best show ever.
I think that was one of the greatest returns because, I mean, I'm pretty sure you know some cats whose names never left the end of the block. Like I'm talking about the end of the corner on the same street that they on. Yeah. No one knows.
And they got talent.
They do. Oh, man.
That's the cool.
There's plenty sad hoods.
And then one of the saddest ones is dudes that go to like Liverpool or England and be like Michael Jackson and come back and the name ain't leaving the liquor store. It's like everybody on the stoop know you dope, but even they like, all right, you've been dope for 15 years.
But you're not.
But you ain't popping. Exactly. Yeah. But in England, you can't walk down the street. Yeah. I've known dudes like that. And that's like, bro, do go to Japan and be like the man, like B2K or something out there. So.
Okay, real quick, before we move on to the comedy one more time. Would you rather be nationally known, internationally known, or universally known?
Oh, that's a good one. I think universally, because it just kind of make it like, but I don't know. I'll say probably.
You know what comes with that universal.
Yeah,
you can't sleep, bro.
It is. But I feel like too that puts you in a box where people that are national or like certain people won't catch on. They'll be like, that ain't what I listen to, because they think it's like world music. Yeah, but you know what I mean. There's people that listen to Pitbull when he was in hoodies and gold chains that don't listen to him. That with the braids that don't listen to him in the suit with the bald head, because that's not. So you see what I'm saying? I think kind of like universally that even though it consists of everyone, it still kind of alienates certain people that like they don't might not listen to universal stuff. So I don't know. I think I probably like I don't know. I probably like the international because you can like turn it to like you're gonna get that recognition of like
you're gonna
make the bread, you're gonna get the fame, you're gonna get everything.
You're gonna have euros.
Look at CeeLo.
Franks.
Look at CeeLo. Like I mean, even though we thought he was cool, but we thought the Goody Mob was kind of done, and then he goes and becomes like a megastar overseas. Then comes back and we treat him like he's like how we should have been treating him since the late 90s.
Yeah, because the man is a genius.
Honestly, like real talk. So. But it's like I think we have to look at other people like. I don't know. We watch other people and see what they like and then we be like, oh, that we had it first. Then we like it. Yeah. It's like, no, that's just like a kid with a toy that you ain't played with in 9 months. And your mom's friends come over with her kid. The kid is like, he's having the time of his life with this toy. It's mine. And you don't even want it. You just sit it down next to you. Like, that's kind of, I feel like we are like that as a people when it comes to stuff we don't appreciate here. So, like, even with comedians, like,
that part.
Certain ones we don't appreciate until they gone, or it gets tragic, and then it's like,
they was a great. They had so much talent, so much.
They were the best.
I remember when I seen them, you made me spit my soda.
I had his DVD. You still got DVD?
Upgrade your equipment, bro.
Well, I got a Blu-ray at least.
Nah, so 2017, you coming out the funk with it, you already experienced a level of success and, a little downhill speed with the music. So what made you like, all right, I'm popping back on stage for this time with comedy?
Honestly, I'll say after the music, like, it kind of like, it was like a depression for a little bit.
I bet.
Like, because it was just like, then even with the people I was rapping with, I kind of like, not fell out heavy, but like, it was kind of like we separated. So it's kind of like losing what you do and your homies that you kind of was with every day. For like that you were doing it with, and they just your everyday friends. Yeah. So it was like for a while, from that like late 2017 to like the end of 2018, I literally just worked, was like just playing GTA at home all day and going to the tattoo shop. And just like it was like nothing, just and smoking pretty much. Just literally work, home, shop, work, home. It was like nothing else. And one of my friends, she's a painter, artist, tattoo artist, graphic designer. Wow. She did most of my tattoos. So she shout out May Tattoos, May Ink, all that.
Go ahead and check that out on socials.
So she's super cool, but she actually, I would like go with her to a lot of they would hire her to do shows like art shows and different just events. So I went with her and started seeing, I think it turned out to be like a Spotlight Sunday or something, low key. I didn't know till later though. We know what that is. But I was in a comedian, I'm just with the homegirl, like I'm her art assistant. Yeah. She, I'm helping her plug up stuff, getting stuff out the car. And I just kind of started seeing stuff. And then I had quit my job. And the day I quit my job, I was in the tattoo shop and she just was like, I was kind of stressing. And she was just like, you should just come to a show with me tonight on Sunset. And it's a comedy show. And I had just got my leg done. I went with her. And I literally wasn't nothing about comedy was in my brain. It was just, of course, people kept telling me for a long time to do it.
Like you had that.
But it was like, I just was like, whatever, the music, whatever. So I went that night and then I seen a comedian, there was a lot of comedians that's crazy that I'm actually cool with now and I do shows with, I know. But the main one I seen that triggered it was Shane. Because I had a conversation with Shane. Man, super cool. I had a conversation with him, I want to say 2004 in the parking lot when I was rapping and I was performing and one of the homies got us a show. We were performing I performed in the belly room as a rapper, but not a comedian. Okay. Like, that's what's crazy. But I was talking to Shane and just for years. So when I seen him that night in 2019, that just jogged my, it was just like, this is a dude I seen 15 years ago or had this conversation with. I watched him growing up. I haven't seen him since that night in 2004. And I haven't seen him, but I'm sure he's been working and doing his thing. Yeah. And then to see him headlining a show on Sunset that I just randomly came to, and it just clicked in my head of I asked the host, hey, bro, are you guys, you have an open mic or an amateur night? He was like, send me a flyer or send me a picture, made me a flyer. I had a flyer before I had a joke. And it was like, okay, and I just kicked in, and it was like that kind of just, it was a way, because I honestly, I think I found it trying to get out of depression. You know what I mean? It can
be like that. Comedy, I hate, before I say this, I hate when comics bring their problems to the open mic and it gets therapeutic and we're all in a therapy session. It gets weird.
I've been to a few. No, it gets really strange.
It's like, oh, do you need a hug, Mike?
When you make it funny, that's the point of what we're doing.
But some of them.
Well, it's just like you're venting, bro. Go to the therapist, sir. Sir, I've been to Mike style. I'm not even going. I ain't gonna put their name out there.
No,
and it's ones we've all been to, but I don't even go back because the host would go on like rants.
Yeah,
and it's like, bro, I'm just waiting for the funny. It ain't like you got to have us holding our stomach, but I see you trying when it's just weird and awkward. And
that part.
But we all are on the same. We got our depression, our issues. We battling demons.
We do, but more on that in a bit. We gotta keep it rocking, keep it going. You know, this is the comedy plug, and we gotta play the hot highs. Today's featured comic is Dave Helm off that DJ the Chicago Kid. You can find on all streams, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you like to hear your ha-has. And without further ado, we're going to do what we do. If you like what you hear, do us a favor. Click that like button over on the YouTube on Pharcyde TV, where we drop every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Ooh, ooh. And without further ado, the man of the hour. Oh. What it do, party people? What it do? Thank you for tuning in. You rocking with the comedy plug. I am your host, the speech guy, Tony Asar, A-S-A-R. And do me a favor, if you like any of the things that you've heard, any of the jokes, any of the slappers, any of the convo, go ahead and follow us on the social medias at fm.comedyplug on Facebook, Instagram, or IG for you newbies, and TikTok, baby. And you can see all the skits, clips, and the things we do on behind the scenes. But that ain't about that, man. It's about my homie with me. All right, Tom, so where we left off, we were talking about how comics get it all mixed up, trying to make it a therapy session. Yeah. But off that rip, it helped you get out of your depression from the music game. What was it about comedy and the whole experience of doing stand-up that helped uplift you after you took that little down spell?
I think it was one, making people laugh, and being good at it, and they actually enjoy, you see the genuine laughs and even giggles, whatever. But one of the things, it kind of was I don't know what would you call it, self-esteem builder maybe, would be when I'd be on the way there, and this is before I even had my car. I'd be catching trains and buses.
All
of my
we've been there.
Getting up to Hollywood, getting up to the store, all these spots, little taverns and here and there. But what it was on those nights when I would catch the bus or I'd leave and head towards Hollywood or Inglewood to do these shows, it would be I would always have that voice. Just go home. I'll be sitting at the bus stop smoking and just waiting. And I was waiting for a bus 30 minutes or something. I can just go home. You might as well just bounce. It ain't worth it, blah, blah, blah.
And real quick, just to add on that, not to cut you off, that voice right there, though, you know how many people can't get past that first voice.
And they just be I'm going to just shut it down.
They be you know what, you are right.
Exactly. Just walk back to the house.
I need to just walk right back.
And it's because I think a lot of times people confuse that with listening to your first mind. When your heart is really telling you something that you should listen to, opposed to just fear talking or doubt. Yeah. But I would hear that, and it would be I would be battling it. I'm literally at the bus stop, just go, just leave. The bus come, I'm on the bus sitting there. I might as well just get off the bus and just go back home. Yeah. And then I get to the spot and I'm signing up, and man, I don't know, maybe I should just leave. Or I would just not stand up when they call my name, and they don't know it's me anyway. And I would be and then get up and do my 5 minutes, my 6 minutes, and actually it'd be really good reactions, and it would just feel the whole way home, it just felt every time it just made the feeling stronger of to where it's the feeling when I was done got big, better, but the doubt got less and less every time before. Exactly. Because it was okay, remember last time, and you try to mimic other times, and then you learn you can't do that every time, and just you gotta switch stuff. So it was. I felt that was that's what kind of just switched my mind out of depression mode or just being down into okay, people actually enjoy even if it's a mic and other comics are laughing, the waiters are laughing, bartenders are laughing, whoever's laughing, and I'm working on stuff, and the stuff I'm working on is actually getting laughs now. I'm doing shows, and they're laughing really, and they want me back. So that I felt
Is that when it started? You made a switch, like, oh, this isn't just something I should try out for, but this is something I
I just gotta do it.
Submit myself.
I just felt from the first show I did, because I started. I didn't start with open mics or anything. I started with Jokes and Notes with the homeboy Warren V, and that was just, it was like shows with people that be doing the crack 'em up. Mm-hmm. So it's like he let certain people go up, like myself at the time and others, but it's like you still on there with legitimate like comics, and so doing those like the first like 2 months like kind of helped me. I didn't know about no open mics in LA for like a good 3 months. Yeah. And then somebody seen me at the at an open mic and was like, "How long you been doing it?" Like I was like 3 months, and they was like, "I thought you been doing this a few years." Nice. And kind of gave me more and was like, "Here's a comedy bureau," and showed me all these open mics in LA, and I just from there and cracked it, just hitting everything I could on the bus with no car at the time. Plus on top of that,
would you contribute any of your music? Any of the years you were doing music experience,
definitely
to stand up.
It was. I'll say
what ways did it transition?
I'll just say the stage presence, because I'm not. I've always kind of been like an social person. Like I can talk to people I really like.
Because you would.
Because it's like, when it's people I'm cool with, I respect, I like y'all, I know you, I'm cool with you. If I get a good vibe, I'll talk all day. Yeah. But when I don't know people, if I feel, I don't have to like dislike you or I hate you. But if I just feel a certain way, I'm like, people be like, "You so quiet." And it's like, my homies be like, "You don't know him, do you?" Like, because it's just, I feel with certain people. Vibes. So certain people I talk a lot, and certain people just like, they probably don't even know what my voice sounds like. Because I just listen to them talk to other people and how they treat other people.
Totally, you too big to just be static quiet in the corner.
That's what homie mom used to call me. She used to call me the creeper. Because she was like, you too big to move like that. Like I'll walk up and people don't hear me coming. Yeah. And like I'd walk up on circles of the homies and just be standing there for like a minute. And they hey bro, like just,
you got kickboxing background. You just an assassin.
It's like the Zohan foot just come up in you. But no, it was just but I doubt the stage presence, though, honestly, just getting over that. Like, when I did music, those first, like, few months, maybe year of shows was kind of, I'm standing in one spot with the mic just doing the Eminem hand. Like, even though the bars was hot, but the stage presence wasn't. Like, so after a couple years of that, I started, like, and I got that down, like, really good. So I felt the fear of the crowd work and me knowing how to kind of move a crowd, that helped with, that's probably half the battle other than your material. It's like knowing, like, not freezing up or kind of getting nervous when you see, and it's like, I still get those feelings, because I had an older comic told me, if you don't, like, even if it's 20 years, if you don't still get those feelings of nerves or some type of nervousness before you go up, maybe it's not for you anymore. Because it's like, once you feel like I mastered. Yeah, like it's like you can know that you got the skill and the talent, but when it's like this is gonna be a breeze, and like, so I feel like I still, even now, it's only been a few years, but I still get that like little jittery, like hopefully, like, you know what I mean? It's like they like it.
Not surprisingly, but I still get that. For some reason, no matter where, I could do the same open mic all week, just feels, but every time I step up, I'm like, "Oh, they gonna laugh at this."
I hope I don't forget this part. I hope this one I don't black out on this part.
Let me jump back to Go Forward real quick. What's the equivalent of bombing on stage doing music? Because I know for comics, this is when that dead silence.
I think like
the Black Ocean.
I think the equivalent, and it's weird because I think a bomb for a musician is almost like a normal open mic night for a regular or a good any type of comic. Because I think a bomb for like when you rapping and you got a show and you're literally like doing your show and it's like 1-2 people sitting at a table and they're in a conversation. They didn't even come. Even if they came for the show, they don't care about what you're doing right now. They're talking about the nachos. Oh, guess what Gloria did? And like you be like, and you really rapping, and the bartender is like, but in an open mic night, that's normal. True. Like we go to open mics and there's people sitting there talking, and but we're just doing our thing to sharpen it up. So it's like when we do a show, we want the show to be cracking and full and everybody's paying attention. So I feel that's like the weird part of like that's kind of bombing. Like you rapping and it's just nobody cares. Like, why are you here, bro? You just like up on stage, like loud, like your speakers on.
Do you think people bomb at Rolling Loud? Like, you know, those.
I think people don't even be paying attention enough to care. Like people be so lit. You. I think like Coachella is so much going on, and people are they're so bummed out on everything.
Okay.
Like, of course,
I've been to concert.
Of course, there's that small like portion of people that are watching the stage and are going, "Did you see that?" Like, but everybody else is on some whole other stuff.
Because I remember earlier this year they were trying to get Coi Leray trouble. Like, no one's rocking with
She's
you.
Funny.
But my thing was, what if everybody was peaking at the same time?
Like, everybody is just, like, lit. Just everybody in their tents, like, zipping it up.
You know they got the shrews. You know they got
everything. Like, they dropping tabs. They own one. But some people, I don't know, the performances just don't grab people. Mm-hmm. And then if it's, like, depending on, like, what crowd you get booked on, if that's not their type of music, that's when you're going to get people just talking and not paying attention, or they really genuinely don't care what you're like doing. So that's like, I don't know, her, like I see a lot of her performances. There's a comedian or IG comedian, and he does like an impersonation of her that's hilarious. He wearing like these big boots, and he be like standing pigeon toed with his hat like to the side and his shirt folded up, and he like it's hilarious, but it's like he's trolling her, but he's like, I love her so much, but so I see that a lot. But I don't know, Rolling Loud, I've never even been to a Rolling Loud, but everything I've always seen after a Rolling Loud is everything but the performances.
That part.
It's like somebody got knocked out, somebody got packed out, somebody got chased out, somebody got somebody bombed on stage, that stabbed, somebody bombed on stage or fell off stage, somebody threw something on stage. It's never like, I don't know, like when you used to watch stuff and you see like they showed the award mashup and it was like all the performances. It wasn't just everything else but the performance. And I feel like that's what we're in, like that era of like, every Rolling Loud I've seen, literally it's about like what happened backstage or after.
And I think it's a funny time we're kind of in right now, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's not only just happening at Rolling Loud and rap concerts, people running up on trying to grab
crazy stuff,
grab the artist, or touch them disrespectfully or throw something up. So but we also having it in comedy as well. Man. So, do you think is there anything special about the times that's going on where people are getting bolder or more brave?
I feel everybody wants to be heard, and they feel like, because of the way society is set up now
with social media, right?
And you can be heard, so everybody wants to be heard more now. And now, so the more is when you get, I can't take it, and I got to run on stage and try to spear Dave Chappelle or. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I feel like we all have a voice now. Everybody, your voice is in your voice can be in my pocket. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Just like, even though I'm not looking for it. And I'm going to scroll and come across it. And I think that's where you get people that are like, no, it's not enough. Like, you got to like hear me right now.
Like, everyone has to see me.
Yeah. Let me walk up and grab Karen's grabbing mics from people.
Yeah.
And like people just slapping people on stage.
It's getting a little wild.
It's a little wild.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's what we're set up in, because feel like we're spiraling like lower and lower. Like, honestly.
And honestly, I will agree with you as far as like the social ladder or whatever,
this is weird,
or mannerisms, social mannerisms, standards, yeah,
value standards. You ain't got to be morality. You ain't got to be like some super just upright citizen, but it's like,
don't move funny, man.
Yeah, and it's like people are proud to move funny now.
Yeah,
they're like, hey, that's what it is, and it's like they're proud to be like foul to people.
Yeah, and. For views.
Yeah, and then it don't even translate to like, sometimes it's just you putting yourself out there to look stupid forever now.
Yeah.
And it didn't translate to anything financial, beneficial, nothing. It's just nothing. You got a few likes and a bunch of thirsty comments. And like,
congratulations.
Thanks, man. Like, I posted a reel. I just posted, got 166,000 like views and or about 3,000 likes, and I'm tripping because I'm like, it's the first something I've posted that got that much, and it was something I created, like the content. It was something I recorded. You know, we could share something and it goes viral, but you didn't record that.
Did it feel you weren't there. Did it feel like your Houston moment?
It felt a little more like, because every morning I woke up, it was like 15,000 new likes. Yeah. Like literally, I was getting like 12,000 to like 20,000 likes a day on one video, and it stopped at 166,000. And I'm like, so it's like sometimes I'll be scrolling like that celebrity pages, and I'll be like 129,000. Look at this guy. Like no, I'm gonna flex it. I gotta flex on one video.
That, though.
But I just feel that is like the standards. I heard somebody say something a long time ago about Kim Kardashian. He said, she doesn't understand that for her, there is no line of being infamous. It's just famous. Yeah. Because there's famous and infamous, but now she kind of broke that to where there is no more, you can't be infamous anymore. Yeah. You're just famous. Yeah. So it's like, and now it's no matter what you do, good, bad, disgusting, devious, minor. It could be something good, but it's something you should do. Yeah. But it's like, why are you recording and posting it for likes and views?
I'm getting tired of those videos of like, oh yeah, I just helped a homeless person.
Yeah, like you walking up with a plate of food with the phone and the other. Like, and I know dudes that do that before that was even a viral thing. And I thought it was somebody I really knew, and I seen him do that on his Facebook page in maybe 2012. Okay. Like 2011, and I remember just thinking, I thought that was weird. Like, why are you recording? Like, he was doing it just walking up on, like, unless you're trying to get a tax write-off or, unless you're doing it for something like
this. You can't tax write-off the soul, can you? Can you?
You gotta be like, hey. It's like, so I gave 4,400 plates, the up and down skid row, turkey wings, gravy, the mashed potatoes.
Remember that one time I got them juice?
Like, I gave them juice boxes, Mott's, apple.
I really care.
Like the Mott's apple. But
real quick, sorry to cut you.
No, good.
But so you went from music, you went to stand up, and now you're growing in your own lane of stand up because you got a podcast studio situation going. You wanted to speak more on that and kick it out?
Well, that's innovative culture. Like shout out to the homies Cam, Punch, TV. Moan, Sunlit, like everybody. So Sunlit, it's the 33rd compound, and Sunlit owns the 33rd compound. And in there, we have multiple, it's one platform, which is Innovative Culture, but we have multiple shows on Innovative Culture.
So you got your own podcast.
So I'm the host of Innovative Comedy. Moan hosts Pro Hustle Zone. DJ Punch and Cam host the Effin' Mad podcast. Milk It Media and Annie hosts the Chop It Up Barbershop Talk, like that comes on you. So it's literally I would say it's like how No Jumper is set up. Honestly, like it's No Jumper, but it's like multiple shows. It's literally the same exact setup, and it's almost even like Sunlit she functions with the No Jumper people and does a lot of content with them. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say like a branch off or where like we're tied into them anyway, but it's just it's like on the same lines, and we interview the exact same people sometime in the same week. Like certain people leave their studio and come to our studio or vice versa. So it's kind of, we're in that lane of I get to just being a comedian and I get to have some of these people on, and I used to just do it all comments. Now I'll have anybody on because I feel like it's just fun just being a comic and talking. It doesn't have to be, we can talk about the most serious issues, but it's our point of view.
And real quick, for your show, who's all on it, and when can people catch it?
So my show, I'm the host. My co-host is China White, Stink. Shout out to the homie Stink. Yeah. Let's say China White, Stink, and usually we have if there's one more, Cam is usually like the co-host.
Cool, ask Cam.
Yeah, cool. Because you already know the coolest. I do the drops too, because I be turning on my this summer my little movie voice. So I do the drops for Cam and all that, but that's our show. Is myself, China White, Stink, Cam, Punch, Milk It. That's the thing with the platform. It's the same. That's why I said similar to the No Jumper, where they all have their shows, but they're all on each other's shows. To where it's the same thing. We're all on each other's shows, plus we bring in guests. And we just have a good time, smoke, talk, random stuff, watch clips.
And when does it drop?
We record every Wednesday, but it usually drops like maybe that Sunday, Saturday. So depending on who's on the show, we might try to get it out the next 2 days. But it kind of is like no more than a week in it's out. Okay. So we're at episode, I believe, 56, 55 or 56 now. We did the 50th show anniversary, and we did a big comedy show for everybody that's been on the show. And we had like Ryan, the homie Ryan Ratsinovich.
I know.
I always try to make myself say it, but
no, he goes by Ryan the comedian.
Ryan the comedian. So Ryan, he was on there. He killed it. He's hilarious. The homie Young Beeves. Stink was on there. Tone G Mac. Sadiq was Scarlet. Mario Caballero, and just it was a super cool show. And then the thing with our show is just because Stink is tied in and part of Grindface, like we're all part of Grindface. So,
Grindface.
Yeah, the shout out to the homie Grindface. Like he really.
And he from Pomona.
Yeah. They all
right?
Yeah. So they all, I don't know his side, like, but they all Pomona, Stink from Pomona. They all from Pomona.
No,
so.
I know Stink from Pomona. He knew where I'm from. Okay. He knew my hood.
Solid people. Okay. He said, we know that. Yeah. So I bought, like, I was a guest on this show, and then they was like, we like the way you kind of talk and the way you kind of like with the show. They bought me back, and then I started bringing in other comics, and I bought Stink in as a co-host, and just because me and Stink's super cool, that's the homie. So
yeah, Stink's chill.
Yeah, so his people, that's his family, is Grindface. So Grindface, I just see how me and Stink function and how I function with Grindface. So he made me part of the team, and they be doing they did the actual hot sauce challenge at the compound about 2 weeks ago. That was at the studio where we have so much content. I got a video where they did the first hot sauce challenge, and I wasn't in it. I'm like, I'm not getting into this. Yeah. And Grindface, no, the only way to get me, the only way he could, he took a blunt, and the ring that the hot sauce left, this Carolina Reaper, ghost pepper concoction, he dips the back of the blunt in it, and I'm on a shroom, so I'm kind of like, I'm floating in the studio, waiting for everybody to come back in, and he comes in, and when you see somebody with their phone like this, you should know, like, especially Grindface, he's getting content. And when I'm feeling good, he's like, yeah, Tony Grams, what he do? I'm like, yeah, man, you know. And I hit it. I'm like, yeah, you know, he's cool ass Cambo. It's just, and I hit it, and I swear it tastes like metal. There's not even a taste of like something.
Hot metal?
Not even hot, just like, it tastes like some Terminator, like liquid fell in like that. If the John Connor cyborg killer, if he could drip that stuff in your mouth, that's what that hot sauce. It didn't even taste natural, and that was just off. And these dudes were eating whole wings, and that was just a back of a blunt that just hit my eyes for like 10 minutes. I like spicy stuff, so I wasn't tripping. Yeah. But I was like, okay, yeah, this is. And so Grindface, shout out to Grindface, but he be on his content hunt. He be having dudes run out their shoes. I done seen a dude run out the sole of his shoes because of the hot sauce. Like, blew the fake Jordan in half.
All right, it seems like you've been part of 2 creative groups, one for music, one for comedy, and it sounds like you had a good time with both of them.
Honestly,
where would you rank them or rate them?
I mean, in my life, in accomplishments, the music, it was fun, and it was a lot, but I think the comedy has done more, like, just in this short time. I did music from, like, I seriously started, because I sat down and was writing and booking studios, like going into Yellow Pages, like when I was like 17, back in like, also, I want to say, like, I've been doing music. I was doing music seriously in like 99, 2000 up to like 20. So that's like, that's why I say, like, down there 20 years of kind of grinding. So but just in the short time of the comedy, and just I feel the growth, and I can, you know what I mean? And I'm sure it'll be ups and downs in this too, but it just seems like I'm built better now to deal with the downs. Okay. So like when music, you like, oh man, it ain't how we didn't get this, we didn't get on this show. Now it's like, okay, I don't get on the show, I'm hosting the show. Okay, somebody I miss a show or can't get on the show or miss a message. Or somebody hit me up for a show and there's another, get on next month. I got another one over here, pull up over here. So I feel like the give back from the comedies in these last few years have been real good. So I'll rank it kind of like, I'll walk in and surprisingly people be like, hey, what's up? And I'll be like, Like, you know who I am? Like, that's a good feeling where it's like people that you kind of like know from other stuff, and they're like, oh, what's good, bro? Like, bro, you know my name? Like, how does that happen? I doubt that happened with Michelle Murdoch.
Hey, that's dope. Shout out to Michelle Murdoch.
Super shout out.
Crack 'em up. Been doing it for 20 plus
years.
In the belly room. You catch
solid.
Thursday.
Best show over there. But I would go there.
Time out. Isn't it the best show in the comedy store?
Honestly, they need to move it to the big room.
The main room.
Honestly,
I think it's about time as well. But go ahead.
But I would go to Crack 'em Up every Thursday. I felt like when I started, and like I was about a year in, so I was hitting the Kill Tonys and everything, and where you felt like you're supposed to be. Yeah. Like it's like you on campus, and it felt like a new, like you know what I mean. I got to go across town to this class. The whole city is your like campus now. Yeah. So it's like I would be there a lot. And I remember it was after a Crack 'em Up, and I was out in the front, and I'm like, about to light up. And she walks over, she's walking towards me, and she asks me for a light. And I give her the lighter, and I'm literally about to introduce myself to her. I'm like, hi, like, just because I know who she is, I'm like getting ready so I don't get but I'm like, hi, I'm Tony Grams. But before I can even get it out, I'm like, hi, I'm Tony. She's like, I know who you are. And like gives me back like the lighter. She's like, yeah, I know who you are, Tony. And like says my name kind of. She was like, I'll be watching all y'all. And that's just what she said. She was like, I'll be watching all y'all. And I was like, thank you. Like I was like, honestly, I'm surprised you even know who I am. And she was like, I'll be watching everybody. And I was like,
she is. That's how she always knows to pull up. But real quick, where can people catch your podcast at?
It's YouTube. We're on every platform: YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud. I know Cam usually do the shout out, but any platform, digital, we're on all of those. So
what's the name?
Innovative Culture, Innovative Comedy. Just make sure, just type in Innovative Comedy and you'll see me on YouTube, or type it in on the platforms and it'll pop up. And we got about 56 shows and different guests, the funny stuff, topics, all kind of stuff. Even if you go to the YouTube channel, Innovative Culture, you can see all of everything. We do movie reviews and funny stuff. We just do random stuff. So check us out.
Real quick, at your compound, if people wanted to start a podcast, could they holler at your compound?
Yeah, holler at Cool. Just go holler at Cool Ass Cam, and he'll literally put it together for you. That's the best way to. And I know people that have started. Shout out to 5 Stacks, Tommy 5 Stacks, and I see him everywhere now. Okay. And he came in like February and starting out. He just did his season finale. I was a guest on the season finale last week.
So there it is. It ain't the plug unless we hook you up with something. Mm-hmm. So if you got an idea to do a podcast or anything that you want to talk about, holler over at the compound, bro. But we're going to keep it rocking, keep it going, because this is the Comedy Plug. I am your host, the speech guy, Tony Asar, ASAR, where we got the bombs, them slappers, that bass, and them and if you like anything that you heard so far, be sure to check us out over on the socials at fm.comedyplug. I'm feeling a little froggy. Let's leave. And once again, that was Dave Hellum off of his new comedy album, DJ the Chicago Kid, where you can hear on all the streams and all the medias on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And once again, if there's anything that you heard during this time of the show, you can find all the coverage and all the information with the link in the bio. Again, if you're streaming us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Deezer, Anchor, we got that info for you in the bio. Just go ahead and click that link. But that ain't about that, man. It's about my homie with me. And Tony, man, hey, I gotta say, I'm having a great time.
Same.
I'm having a great time. And you dropped. I knew you were interested, but just hearing the whole background and the combination coming from music, the 360 deal, the dreaded 360 deal. I remember those times because it was something about 2010s that I guess the industry figured out, like,
get these.
We can't keep letting Jay-Z, Sean John, 50 Cent just be.
Ain't nobody gonna stream nothing. We gonna stream your pocket.
We gonna get you. And then from battling through that, the ups and downs of the industry, because you always hear these stories. You always hear these stories where the industry do get you.
And spit people out.
It spits people out, and a lot of people fall into a depression that they can't come back from. But you went ahead and was like, nah, man, I'm an artist.
Just flip it up. Just switch it up.
And you've been rocking with it since.
Been trying.
So, since you've been in the game, real quick, how has your goals changed, and what are you trying to achieve right now?
Honestly, just more like now trying to probably sponsors, like getting those sponsors for certain things, and no matter what it is, and just kind of start growing it the business wise and like spread out further with that.
That part.
And honestly, because everything else seems to be kind of on track and going well, and meshing with other like stuff and other comics working. So honestly, just it's like more paid shows, I guess. I get some here and there. Like we all like don't. Everybody ain't a paid show artist where every show is you cashing out. Like
no, you gonna get about 10.
Yeah, they trying to make it like I know there's a lot of comics be like, yeah, I'm a full-time comedian. Air like in Los Angeles. Like no, bro, you
get gas money every
man. Hopefully, if they remember, I'll pay comics, try to pay them when I can. Certain ones for certain shows, if or not free something like. But I feel like that's the part where it's like we get to that where it's like more income from that. But it's cool where it is right now because it's still growing. So
that part. And as a producer of a comedy show or just a producer of a show, is it always plausible to pay the talent? Are you always able to? Because a lot of talent don't know what goes on behind the scenes as far as securing the venue and things like that.
Sometimes, I mean, unless you're just paying out of your pocket and you got a different income, then but depending if you want to be like, all right, the show told me, I got this much, or I got to make this much here, so I can pay this much, or unless the venue is giving you money to be like, give this to the comics, and how many promoters are going to even do that? Because I've done shows with dudes where that's going on, and he's hosting, and he's like just paying a few people like his homies that go up and do the same jokes over and over again, and then all the younger people who are actually probably, I don't want to say be like better, but they actually getting a better reaction. They're working harder, and he ain't even like offering nothing. He actually might be trying to charge you to go up. Yeah. So it'd be like stuff like that. You be like, bro, so to be like, so I've had it like happen. I've had like shows where I'm hosting and co-hosting, and the dude's like, tell them $5 to. And I'm like, I'm not telling them that. You can tell them that. Like, if you like the show we did in Compton, I felt like I was booking that with the other co-host. He was on that like all the time. I'm like, how you gonna have me hit people to book them and then tell them they got to give $5 when they get here? Like,
that was kind of sus. And I'm already buying snacks.
Exactly. That was, and then you see, I was because I never was like, give me the $5.
Yeah.
It was like, if you're not on the show and you trying to go up and we do run a mic, then that's different. But when it's like now I'm being forced to ask people I like consider friends for $5, and I hit them up because they were my friends to do a show.
Okay.
And it was no intention of, so I've had that happen to me where I'm like, now I'm in the middle of, and I'm like, bro, you go ask for $5.
It's my name.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of sketchy, like, people.
It's LA, baby.
I can teach you how to be funny, and I'm type people, and I'm a comedy guru, and like, bro, like, come on.
Your apartment's smaller than mine.
And your jumps ain't landing on nothing. Like, they just out there like drones, just over everybody's head. But I don't know. I've ran into a little bit of that out here and avoided it once you see it. That's kind of the thing. Once you see it and it don't feel right, or if you know better, just go the other way. And you ain't got to deal with nobody, even if everybody else deal with them. Like, you just don't. So,
real quick, you're going on tour. You're allowed to have 3 acts under you. And you could pick, because you're both a musician and a comedian, and there is no limit on, star ability. Say you got the budget, you know what I mean, to get who you want. Who's filling those slots? Who's open? Who's going to host it? Who's going to open it? Who's going to be the guest before you? The little 25-minute slot before you come in.
Yeah, and if I could do that, I'd have like I don't know if I'd the musical guest would probably be like Currency or Larry. And that would be like the musical guest, so that's out the way. And then I'd say, I don't know, the like opening or something.
Was that opening act, baby?
I'd probably had a homie, the homie Mike Missile.
Okay.
Because Mike is like hilarious, and he just got that energy of a host because he used to co-host Jokes and Notes, and but he does. It's not that because people think because somebody's opening they're the least funny or they're
it's like exactly.
It's like you supposed to be warm and getting it ready, and I feel like Mike sets that bar of he's like there. He's the other one that does crack him up in a lot of big shows, but he's like hilarious, like period. So I'd have him probably open it. And then maybe like hosting. Yeah. I'd have like.
You gotta keep that energy to save the whole way. Throughout the whole entire tour.
Actually, I'd probably have Mike hosting. If I would say Mike, I'd have Mike host.
So who's opening?
And then opening, I'd probably have like man, that's like maybe somebody like I don't know. It's like I don't think somebody maybe like this is you hit me with a stinker, you hit me with a curveball right there. Maybe like somebody like I want to say I'd have my boy Mark Boyd. Oh, I'd have Mark Boyd. Too. I definitely have Mark Boyd would open it. It would be because he's like one of my and I've said it only about him and Mike. Those are the only two dudes. Like I would pay, but I would like if I didn't know them, I would like pay money as like a fan to go see comics. Mm-hmm. Those are two dudes that I know that I'd be like I would go buy a ticket to watch their show. So I'd only have Mark open, Mike host, and then there's one more before me. Yeah, I'd only have Slink Slink Johnson like go over there and and that would be like that'd be a dope show. Like,
that sounds fire.
Yeah, like
what's Slink's event? I gotta go to
Pimps and Kinfolk. I just went Wednesday. That was like my third one I went to. Okay, that was super dope. It's always great performers, like open bar. You can blow. Oh so, yeah, everybody just chilling. It's cool. You sitting there and it be famous people from like every aspect. I remember the first one I went to, it was like Corrupt, Razkaz, Mr. Marcus. Wow. like Mr. Marcus is like in the background of my video, just standing there dancing while like Razkaz and Corrupt on stage right next to me and Slink right. It's like literally like you see a lot of Sharp from No Jumper, like all of them dudes be a lot of he just is float G Perico. He be having people up there be like it's a dope event. Okay. It's like some players ball, like once a month type thing.
Man, I'm from Pomona. We all about the people.
Yeah. That's that's like his catchphrase. So he'd be like, he say, well, if it ain't or something like if that's P, y'all, and then the crowd gotta be like, that's pimp. Yeah, so like that's literally like his thing. It's a dope event. So shout out to Slink Johnson. For sure. Definitely gonna probably work on some stuff with him coming up soon, like some shows I'll be putting together. Just have to actually at the compound. So okay. Yeah, so I'll probably get that cracking soon.
Alright, since you were in a rap group, alright, your group, let's say your group's the hottest group. You guys got classics. Who would you want to take on the verses? Oh.
The verses is hilarious now. It started as like and then it started as like showcasing classics.
It peaked at I mean, it was beautiful when it was
with Erykah Badu, Jill Scott.
That was beautiful.
I think it fell off once we got
Teddy Ray.
Teddy Riley was funny. That one was funny because he was trying to do the most both days. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. But I'll say I think that one peaked. I think Versus peaked once they did the Ja Rule Fat Joe. Like nobody wanted to see that, bro. To me, the greatest one was. Maybe because I'm from the West, but it was dope, was the E40 and Too Short. That's the only one I sat and watched the countdown for like an hour, like it was a fight. Like literally was watching them talking on YouTube like for an hour before, watched the whole thing. The end was turned the whole like that to me, that was that was top. That one and the Dipset a lot. So that was because I was a huge Dipset fan, but I've always been a big Block, like D Block, and I knew anybody that didn't know that was going to happen. You don't know D Block, you don't know. And we all know Jada's a monster, but Styles is my favorite. But Jada, of course, is just ranked like up there because he's dead. But Styles, I just
dead or alive.
Man, that's just off one LP. Like, bro, that's just off one LP, bro. Like, but it's as a fan of both, because I used to get flack from my homies out in 03, like, you liking them Dipset, and then oh yeah, your boy Game got a song. No, Game got a song with your boys. Because that's when people didn't even, when people don't mess with you when they call them yo boys. Like, yeah, your boys got a song with the new dude Game. And I'm like, and it I'm like, okay. So I was really like a fan, but I really because I like lyrics, I like Dipset. When I rapped, I was kind of...
And Joel Santana...
He the bars.
He was like 17, 18.
Yeah, he was like... They knew he had... And my favorite is Jimmy, but of course, they even knew Joel's had the bars.
Yeah.
But then Dipset, they all had bars.
J.R.
Ryder, Duke the God, Uncasa... Purple City Bird Gang, it was so bad. It was a lot of, it's crazy, Mel Matrix, a lot of them dudes got caught up in the 6ix9ine stuff.
Yeah.
But I would honestly, because I got compared a lot when I rap, a lot of people, because my voice, and then I didn't rap like a kind of a West Coast rapper. Okay. But I rapped kind of West Coast stuff, so people would always kind of be like, it's a mix of Jada and Lloyd Banks. I would get that a lot, and I respect that that's like an honor. For anybody to come out their mouth and say Jada, let Lloyd Banks. Because I kind of would, maybe that bleeds into my jokes, but I would put more emphasis on punchlines. Okay. But it was my content. I wasn't saying anything, but I was kind of my delivery. And so people would be like, yeah, your voice is just, you got that kind of monotone, but the stuff you saying in the punchlines be hitting. Mm-hmm. So I would get that a lot. So I already knew but I would think if I had to go, if we had to go against somebody on the verses, I'd be like,
it could be an individual or a group.
I'd be like, man, I'd have to go get somebody I want to say he got some good questions. I'll be like, I don't know, what groups it was I want to say Western Union. Pac Div.
Okay.
Those type of those type, because I feel now the era of rapping, it would just be it sound like some old dudes rapping against some stuff what it sounds like now. Yeah. So if I had to go against people I'd say our music, I'd be ours, and I don't know, it'd be around that era of just Pac Div? I would think Western Union.
Waves at the Prom.
Because we used to get compared to Western Union a lot because we had one of the dudes was big, Bad Luck. Then I was tall than the other dude. So it was Damani and Superfly. And he was one of the homies from Long Beach. I'm from West LA. The other homies from the East Side of LA. And that was actually the name of the group. When we started was WELB, WELB, but we call it WELB for West Side, East Side, and Long Beach. So that's how we came together. Then it just became ODL. So it's all the letters. Everybody on letters now. ODLJ. Who is that dude? And dudes with that name, you sound famous already. You heard that new hit from JRJ Sar. You JRJ Sar. Hey, that boy got hits. I heard that last one.
Why you gotta have a first name, last name, middle name, alias?
Yeah, it's you got a government alias now. I don't know, that's strange. But I would think somebody in that era of maybe the. Now I don't even want to say the East Siders or nothing, because it was they were kind of on some straight hood shit, hood stuff. Yeah, but. That was kind of our compliment we would get. People would be y'all got it's turn up music, and then it's y'all saying something, but then it's chills, stoners. It was honestly a good variety of we encompassed a lot of everything. Yeah. And people kind of seen that and was it ain't just banged out. Like, actually, I can't listen to it. It ain't no, like, dictionary rap. And then the homies were more party. They were DJs. So they would have to, like, make me do girl songs. And like, you know, when you feel like you're an artist.
I in touch with my emotional
but then I would do them and I would get the most feedback from, like, people we knew and people that they'd be like, hey, that song and I'd be like, I hate that verse, bro. Like, I hate that. And it'd be girls, hey, you need to rap like that more. You went in on that. I'm like, really? Like, but it goes back to circle around to standards, values, and what people hold high up. And it's like what you think, what you holding high up is like, they're like, I ain't paying attention to that. Yeah. And then you do something that I don't even want to do this when I'm just whatever. And people are like, that's the greatest. I would literally get that for stuff I don't even know how that verse go anymore. If I heard it, I'd be like, I'd have to listen to it for about 5 minutes till I remember half a bar. But it's certain people that's their favorite song of mine. And they'll tell me that to this day, like, bro, and it'd be girls, dudes, and it'll be like, oh, you really like that?
Do you guys, you still got music on the streams?
I still got videos on, I still have my SoundCloud, like, cause I was on SoundCloud before being a SoundCloud rapper was an actual thing. Okay. Where you really was like Reverb Nation, Remix, Dat Piff. Like, I was literally on like all of the like digital little platforms and I was doing my stuff. We were doing our group stuff. And so,
what could our listeners just, get on?
You can get on my YouTube channel. Honestly, my YouTube channel still got all our group and like my solo. Because I would do a lot of more mixtape stuff. So I got my bars like on YouTube on the Stiff Hooks. Or I changed it to Tony Grams because Stiff Hooks was my rap name.
Stiff Hooks?
Stiff Hooks, like a stiff hook. Because it was a mix on. I wrote a lot of music for like certain people, and I wrote even with our stuff. I never wrote their verses, but I wrote the majority of our like choruses, hooks. Yeah. So, and then I'm a huge fight person, and it's just so it was a perfect like stiff hook. So stiff hook.
This man is a rapper, people.
So it was like wow, stiff hooks, and I couldn't become a comedian. I stopped calling myself Stiff Hooks even before I did like comedy. It was I was still people were like, oh, what up, Hooks, and the people that know me in the street, like my nickname is Peanut. So everybody like, what up, Peanut? Like people that really know me call me Peanut. So other than that, it was like I was Peanut and Tony for him. Then it was just like Tony Grams is like a play on because I smoke a lot, but my family's last name is actually Graham. Their last name, and then it's not mine. I took my dad's last name, but so I kind of took it on some family, but it makes sense of who I am and how I kind of move, and then it's dope that people be like, that's a dope name, like, and that is kind of one of the things. Like you got to have a name that kind of catch people and like hit like, oh, okay, who's this? You know, somebody be like Tony Asar, okay, like you know what I mean. When they read it, it's certain like things, even if it seems simple, but it hits. So
I grew up in a Hispanic neighborhood, so my nickname growing up was Black Tony.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. You're like, Black Tony.
And the ones that really know me just call me Black.
Black. You're like, man, it's Tone. Like,
oh, those are the Negroes. The Negroes call me Tone.
Black Tone? Yeah, that's like, same thing, though. It's just, so I just like, I've been running with that, and everything's been kind of good ever since. Just keeping it, like I said, it's got me where I'm here with y'all today. Like, sitting here, chopping it up in a cool little spot. You know, it's 100 degrees outside.
Oh,
we in here nice and chill. And
I believe in global warming.
Oh, it's happening.
I'm a believer.
It's weird. When I get off of work at 2 a.m, I come outside and it's like humid still.
Last night?
By the beach, especially. Like, what's going on? Like, it's just like... no, actually, I've worked in shops, but I'm drawn a little, but I've never like inked nothing like nobody. I might try it on myself. I might like soon, but I ain't never like. I'm scared. I was thinking, should I go to school to cut hair or tattoo? I'd be nervous. Like a haircut, you can grow it back. I don't know. I can't do over a tattoo. You ain't gonna want me to do it over. Like you messed it up. Like let me do it. Let me fix it for you. Like.
Real quick, man, just for funs and giggles, if someone hopped on the stage while you was performing, are you going to be a pacifist you know, they try to just get out of the way. Or you go B, you know, hit her with the stiff or 3, just say security.
Because security don't, for one, see, I am security. So I be on my job, so I know, and I can chill and still be on my job. Like, I know how to chill and be on my phone, but still alert. Yeah. But I feel like these comedy securities I don't even know if they exist. Like, when's the last time you seen us in all these comedy videos where people get attacked or rushed or what? When's the last time you seen any security guard in any video? Never. So
not even Dave Chappelle's.
Yeah, at all. Those Jon Stewart and like Busta Rhymes. So when you see Jon Stewart and Busta Rhymes putting boots to a dude together, like fight for New York Def Jam, like what's going on? An attack, man?
Had a special
like, bro. So, but I think I'm on that, like, when I see it with you on, and if you on stage, obviously you about to try to do something weird. So I think I'd come with like a Spartan kick. Like, as soon as you like jump up, because you got to jump up, because they try to run up quick. They know they can't take their time and walk on stage.
That part.
So
we'll come back to it real quick, but more fun. Dang, hell. Oh, and you know what it is, party people. That's Vel the Wonder, the local from the East LA Center. Off that trophy wife, that outside. You know what it is. You rocking with the speech guy, Tony Asar, ASAR, coming from the land of sugar free. So you know it's nothing sweet, but everything's nice. And once again, if you like any of what you heard today, be it the convo, be it the music, be it the ha-has, be sure to click the link in the bio. It'll take you straight to the playlist for this episode 29.
That's dope.
Oh,
almost there, big thing out.
We trying to do some things out here. We trying to do some things. So be sure to check us out over at fm.comedy. Plug on the socials, be it Facebook, IG/Instagram, TikTok. Do we have a Snapchat? No, because that's about to die soon. But you could find us. You could find us all about. But it's not about me. It's about my homie with me. And Tone, man, once again, a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. The invite is super dope. It's been a great time.
Yes, man. It's great hearing your backstory, dude. I never knew a successful rap artist. That's
like, I mean, I feel like I was halfway there.
Well,
I had a couple achievements. Like,
okay.
I'll give it that. But I mean, I had a few songs. I had one song that was stolen by a big rapper. So that
can you say it?
I mean, it was Rick Ross. Like, yeah, I had a song I wrote that was one of our biggest songs, and the Def Jam heard it and had us go all the way to Atlanta, and we met with Lenny S. Lenny S is Rick Ross's manager, but he's Jay-Z's like road manager. He's always like, you see him sitting with like Jay and Beyonce like at the games. Like he's like an up there dude. And I had a meeting with this dude, well, the group, but he's on camera with, man, this y'all dropping like it's hot right here. I need to push this song. And okay, I guess like a few months, this is right when, I want to say 2009, 2010. And about 3 months went by, and then this is right when 50 and Ross started beefing. Okay. And then all of a sudden I heard, like, it was a song, I would be on This Is 50 every day back then. And I remember 50 was making fun of Ross in one of these videos.
Was it with the small security?
Yeah, it was before that. It was maybe a month. This is right when their beef, like, jumped. So there's a video with 50 clowning Maybach music. At this point, they were still Triple C. Yeah. And they're leaving like an airport, and they're like lapped up in like a what is it? Rental, like a shuttle van. Yeah. And they're like, and he's like, bro, like they talking about Maybach music, and they like literally like sitting with their luggage, like all of them gunplay, and he's like 50. It's like a 1 minute clip. The clip ends, and like as it ends, I'm like looking for a lighter or something, but my ears are open, and he's playing because 50's a troll. He's playing their song. But the song it starts playing is a different beat. It's the Triple C dudes, but it's a hook I wrote. Word for word. Like, and I'm like, it just, when you create something, no matter, you can disguise it, whatever. It's like, like, yeah. So I literally look at the computer, like, and I run it back, And I'm like, I listen to it for about 10 minutes before I even go get the homie.
Yeah.
I don't even say nothing. I play it for him. He kind of like, he do the same, like, he go get his sister. His sister, it was like a chain. We call the homie in the IE, like, we play it for over on the phone. He has it on speakerphone. His wife in the background, like, oh, they remixed it?
Wow.
So then the homie even did a video where he lines up the Pro Tools with our hook, and it's the same. They just literally just changed like a few words in the beat. Yeah. And not even the cadence.
Not even the cadence.
They didn't. And this is the album flop. This is like, and we had contacted lawyers. We were gonna sue them. They changed their name from Triple C to Maybach Music at that point. And I don't know if it was the lawsuit stuff or whatever, but I did a song. That's probably one of my biggest songs. Like Jeezy retweeted it. It was I have an actual Rick Ross diss song that I just did over the BMF beat. I think Big Meech. I did. That was like one of that got like a big reaction off of a mixtape song. And I just put it on YouTube. I didn't even put it on nothing made. It was just, I just felt away. Yeah. And when I recorded it, I remember telling a homie, like, guarantee it was a Sunday night. I was like, we're going to talk to somebody from like Triple C by the end of the week. And by Thursday morning, he had Suge Knight's niece hit me up. And me and her chopped it up. She was super cool. And I seen her. She's the same chick. She was on that video tripping on Ray J. It's a classic video where Ray J kind of getting that's the sense. So she was kind of one of his like main security checking people. So even she was like, yeah, he on some other he just was like nervous because of the song. Yeah. And then I was tweeting certain stuff and everybody replied to me but him. And then he just blocked me. I'm still probably blocked by Rick Ross today. Honestly, I've been blocked for him for at least about 12 years.
That's an honor.
Honestly, and it was at a point where I never really liked dude. I don't want to hate, but just from somebody that came from that life, that you got to hustle, and nobody does that because you want to buy clothes and Maybachs, and like you keeping lights on or buying food or you know what I mean, taking care of real responsibilities, and that's the last option. So for that, I never kind of really respected dude. So when it happened with us, and it was like, also your manager just took my song and gave it to you. Because his manager's the one who heard it. So from there, that was a big thing, but that's where I was feeling like that was probably one of my most successful.
That's fine.
As a rapper. So somebody that everybody at that time was like Teflon Don, the greatest. Yeah. He had to, his management is giving him songs that I wrote. So but even and those are the stories you can tell and nobody can either believe you, think you crazy, but you know in your heart. And then it feel weird when your own homies just like, man, Rick Ross is like the realest. You be like, bro. So
nah, but that's funny, my G. Real quick before we dip out, can you go ahead tell the people where they can find you at, as well as all the links, the socials, and any shows you may have coming up?
Follow me on IG at Tony Grams. That's TONY_GRAMS. And on my backup page is Tony Grams Comedy, just like one more, like all together, Tony Grams Comedy. And I'll follow you back. I got you can follow Innovative Comedy, Innovative Culture too. Also, Innovative Culture on IG. Follow our YouTube, and you can. Everything is like I'm all like thinking like everything starts crashing in like damn. But honestly, just on IG, I'm always on IG. So any shows, it's in my story or on my page. I have a website. It's a link in my bio, but I might be actually doing that in the next couple days or something. So just follow my stories, my page. I'm doing a show at the Comedy Chateau tomorrow night at 7:30. That's the Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood. Okay. And then I'm doing my show. I host the Crow's Nest Bar in Long Beach off of Willow in Santa Fe. That's a Wednesday night, so make sure you pull up to that. It's a free show. You can come in. It's like regular bar, dive bar, cool spot. Okay. And I host that every Wednesday and do my show after I do my podcast. So that's pretty much what's coming up for just the next couple of weeks. The Chateau and Crow's Nest.
That's fire, man. Once again, Tony, thank you for coming through. To our listeners, if you like and enjoy or you just want to stay tuned with us, we're on live 101.5 FM every Saturday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. If you can't get to East LA, don't trip. We got you. We drop a new episode every Wednesday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Anchor, and another jazz I can't think of, but it's there, baby. And you can catch the visuals exclusively on Pharcyde TV, 2 p.m. every Wednesday. Shout out to the producer, Lee Waddell. And you can follow her and all her content that she creates on Maven Content Creations. Ooh, a special shout out to the city, Boyle Heights. Once again, you rocking with the speech guy, Tony Asar, ASAR. You can catch me on those socials, same way I said it before, Tony Asar, ASAR. This has been a great moment, a great show. Love everyone that's listening and continuously punching in to listen with us. And again, one more time, if you enjoyed any of the sounds, any of the music, any of the comedy that you heard today, click that link in the bio. It'll take you straight to the playlist of this episode, and you can keep jamming non-stop, baby. Oh, it's so beautiful. I swear to God. And as always, in Aux We Trust. Until next time, baby. Boomies.